Good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. I'm super excited to be here with you on a very much needed topic, stress that we all experience every day. So I'm going to give a moment for a couple of people to join, and then we're going to get started. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Okay, awesome. So, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Today is Monday. It's been a really great weekend, and I'm looking forward to this week and what's to come. And today we're talking about a very important topic, which is stress. And we're going to go and dive a little bit deeper into what is stress, how does it affect you, and what you can do to manage that stress. And then we're going to start at the end, we're going to end with a very amazing exercise that's going to help you bring awareness around how your thoughts and how the stress in your life can affect your reality and the actions that you take. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. There's a lot of different types of stress that we experience every day. We have stress that we experience, like stressful situations that we encounter, maybe a conflict with a significant other or a family member or a coworker. It could also be a situation with someone you don't know. Maybe it's someone on the freeway that cuts you off, and that's stressful for you. Now, there are other types of stress like pressure. Pressure is something that you're putting on yourself every day, or pressure from life, or pressure from someone in your life that is constantly putting that pressure on you. Pressure comes up every single day in our lives, and it's just a part of life. It just gets thrown our way. Stress gets thrown our way. And then the third type of stress that we experience is trauma. And that's when we experience a situation that's stressful, but it's more than stressful. It's traumatic. It could be a death of a loved one. It could be a car accident. It could be abuse. There are various kinds of traumas that you experience. I've personally experienced trauma, and it's something that's really challenging to deal with on your own. So, and that's exactly why we're having these types of conversations is I want to bring awareness around these different topics that affect our everyday life and bringing more light into that mind body connection and how stress can be one of those components that can affect your mind and your body and your physical well-being. So this is going to be a part of a two-part series that we're going to do. So today we're going to talk about what shapes stress and how does stress affect you on a mental level. That's how does it affect. Hey Mohad, see you in here. Welcome. Today we're talking about stress and how it affects and forms your beliefs about yourself. And not only that, but also how it can shape the actions and behaviors that you take in your everyday life. So that's what we'll be focused on today. And then we're going to do a really fun exercise that's going to really shed some light on the connection between that as well as your body and how your mind and body are totally connected when it comes to these reactions, these innate reactions that happen. And in next episode, next Monday, we're going to be diving into the physical aspect of it. So let's dive in. Okay, so we defined stress. First of all, let's define stress. What is stress? Stress is when you encounter a situation, and you have a response. You have a physical and emotional response to that situation. So that can be in the form of encountering a stressful situation, such as a conflict with somebody. It could be in the scenario of applying pressure on yourself, or like a deadline pressure from a job. It could also be in the form of trauma, when you experience a traumatic event such as loss of a loved one, or abuse, or a car accident, or something really traumatic. Okay, so these different stresses, while they are different, they still affect us the same. They still have the same type of impact on our nervous system. They still have the same physical response in terms of our hormones, which we'll be getting into next time. And then what we're diving into deeper today is, how do these stressful situations impact our thoughts and our behaviors and our beliefs about ourselves? So, we're also going to dive into the triggers. So, what are some of the triggers that trigger stress? So, we talked about conflict. That's a trigger, that's a situation that you're exposed to. So, there's environmental and there's physical triggers. Okay, so environmental is something that is happening outside of you. So that's the person who cut you off on the freeway. That's the uncomfortable encounter with your coworker or boss. That's the conflict that you had with a significant other or family member or a loved one. Those are all environmental factors. Applying pressure on yourself. I know for me, that's something that really resonates deeply, because I've always been very ambitious. And as a result of that, I've consistently put um, a lot of pressure on myself to do well in different areas of my life. And this actually proves my point even more, because this ambition was fueled by a stressful response that happened early in my life. And so I invite you to take a moment to examine in your life, what are some common stressors that you are currently experiencing in your life that are happening. And maybe it's not happening right now. Maybe it's something that happened in the past. What is a stressful situation that is impacting your beliefs about yourself and the actions that you take? So I'm going to give you an example. So we're going to take somebody who experienced a traumatic situation, okay? The person experienced the loss of a loved one, and it was extremely traumatic to them because they were there when it happened. And as a result, it creates a fear of death. This is an automatic response, because when this person's triggered by through sickness, through seeing somebody else die, they're constantly reminded of that situation. So that's an example of a trigger. So here's a person who experienced a trauma. Now their trauma is that they're afraid of death. And because of that, anytime they experience sickness, or they're around somebody who is ill, or someone who died recently, this automatically triggers them and brings that stress up to the forefront. And now they're experiencing the trauma again. And now every single action that they take in their life is dictated by the stressor. Okay, so I'm going to give you another example. This person, when they were 10 years old, they got bullied. Okay, so they were new to the school. They attended this new school. Their parents relocated and they're brand new at this school. And they show up on their first day with their backpack and their outfit, excited to be in school. And then this person came in and bullied them. And now in this situation, the person just retreated and maybe ran away. And so now this person, later on in their life, what happens is they feel like they're not safe. They're not safe and they can't be who they are because they showed up, they were wearing their outfit, they were exactly as they are, they were expressing themselves, and for that they got bullied. And so now this person, before they go to wear their outfit or get dressed in the morning or go about their day, they're going to think twice about what they're wearing, how they're acting, how they're being perceived, because in their experience from the past, this person got bullied. And so every time they're in an uncomfortable situation where they're new, maybe they're working at a new job or they're around a new group of people, this trauma is going to resurface and it's going to dictate their actions and how they behave in that scenario. Now, let's go ahead and take this same example, but we're going to switch the scenario. Okay. So the same person shows up to school and they're wearing their outfit, they're really happy with who they are, and this bully comes and they try to bully them. Now, instead of retreating in this scenario, this person actually faces the bully and puts them in their place. Now, this person gets the respect of other school members, and they go on feeling really confident and like they cannot be fazed. And in other situations in life where they might encounter bullies, they might have the calmest, coolest attitude. And when they're in new situations, and they're going to approach it accordingly because that moment dictated their beliefs about themselves and how they're going to react in these scenarios. So I hope that makes sense. So what I invite you to do now is to take a moment, because we're going to do a somatic awareness exercise right now. So, hey Darla, welcome. We're talking about stress and how it affects your thoughts, patterns, and beliefs. This is really profound stuff. And so I just gave a couple of examples, and I'll give one more example, and then we're going to go into a really, really awesome exercise that can be very eye-opening into some of the patterns that are playing in your mind right now that are dictating your actions and your behaviors. So I'll give you another example. So this is an example I like to give. So we have this guy. He's in his home and he lives in a 2-story home, and it's the middle of the night and he's downstairs getting a snack when a robber comes in, opens the door, and starts looking for stuff to steal. The guy's automatic reaction is to go and hide in the closet. So he goes and he hides in the closet. The robber does his thing and he takes off. His family is upstairs and he's downstairs, and he goes to sleep. He makes sure his family's okay. They're okay. And then the next day he wakes up and he now has this new belief as a result of this trauma that he's not safe. He's not safe even in his own home. So he goes through life, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. Every single thing that he faces in his life is through this lens of not having safety. So think about how that could impact this guy's life, right? So it's going to impact his posture. It's going to impact his confidence. It's going to impact his reactions to certain situations. He might be a little skittish when he's meeting people. Now, let's take this and switch the scenario. So same guy, same house, robber comes in. This time, I'm hoping that sound will go away. This time, the robber comes in, and instead of going to the closet, the guy goes and jumps the robber, and he contains him and calls the police and stays on top of the robber until the police come and arrest this guy. Goes to sleep. His family's safe. He wakes up. He's good. His family's good. Everybody's good. He wakes up today with this new belief: I am a hero. I saved my family. I saved my house. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. He goes through life with this mindset. It affects his posture, affects the way he talks to people, it affects how his confidence, how he interacts in life. Same guy, two different scenarios, completely different life paths. Once we start to realize this can be really profound in our life. And this is where somatic breathwork comes in, somatic awareness comes in. This mind-body connection, it's huge. Because if you think about it, the guy who got attacked and hid in the closet, the guy who got robbed and hid in the closet, his posture is probably impacted. You'll probably develop some chronic conditions, maybe chronic neck pain, maybe some migraines, stress, anxiety. These are things that develop when you experience traumatic situations, right? Now, the other guy, or the same guy in the different scenario, he's gonna have tall posture. He's gonna walk with confidence. He's gonna talk with confidence. He's going to portray the characteristics of a hero. He's gonna embody those. And so this is how our thoughts and patterns are connected to our body. So today we're gonna do an exercise to dive into this. And next week, we're going to talk about the physical components, the physical impact of stress on the body. Today, we're focusing on the thoughts, mental stories, and beliefs. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a deep breath and just close your eyes. Take a deep belly breath. And just get comfortable in your seat. Just take a couple of deep breaths, just feeling your body. And just noticing any physical sensations in the body. I'm feeling pretty loose. I have a little tightness in my right arm. I think I slept on it, and it hurts a little. Feeling a little lightheaded. These are my feelings, so tune into what you're feeling. And once you observe what you're feeling physically, the sensations, now I invite you to think about what emotions you're feeling. What emotions are coming up for you? And feel it in your body. Where do you feel that emotion in your body? For example, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. And I feel that right here, right around my heart center. What are you feeling? What emotion? And where do you feel it in your body? Okay. So now you've identified the physical sensation, the emotion. Now tune in, take another deep breath in, and let it go slowly. and tune in to what is the mental story that's playing in your head. And just observe it without judgment. What is that mental story that's on repeat, just playing over and over again? And just notice it without any kind of judgment. Don't try to change it, just observe it. And once you have that, slowly start to bring your awareness back into your body. And think about a time where this belief, this mental story that's playing in your mind, served you in some way. So going back to the example of the guy who got robbed, I'm not safe, is his mental story. And it started with the robbery. And it actually saved him because this feeling of not having safety put him in the closet to save him so that the robber doesn't face him and they don't have a confrontation. So even though this is not necessarily serving him in his life today, it did serve a purpose. So recognizing that our body's innate intelligence creates these stories for a reason, to help you and protect you in some way. So now that you understand this concept, what is that mental story? And when was a time where this mental story served you? Just observe it. Just notice it. Awareness is everything. And this exercise can take as long as you need. So even when we're done here, if you need to go back and do this exercise, this is very profound. I do this exercise. I often do this exercise in a lot of my classes. It's just a really good way to bring awareness into how these thoughts and stories are affecting our life and our decisions and our actions. And just coming back into our body, taking a couple of deep breaths. And I would love to hear in the comments below, what is the mental story that's on repeat for you? And if you want to share where it started, I would love to hear that even more. Because just bringing that awareness alone, wow, it's so profound. I can't tell you how many things have changed in my life as a result of just bringing awareness to these situations. Stories, I just had a class on Saturday, and I had a person who was experiencing TMJ. And she said that she had this story playing in her mind, and through the exercise she was able to identify that it was no longer serving her, and she felt like the tension melting away from her jaw. It's very incredible. So as you come back, we'll talk more about the nervous system component next week with the physical part. So please stay tuned for that. It'll be next Monday at 9 a.m. PST. And then, this type of work has been really profound in my life and really instrumental in my healing. So I was inspired to get my somatic breathwork certification, and I just want to bring this to the world because it's been life changing for me. I have an exciting event coming on February 11th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. It's a virtual somatic breathwork journey event. So I will leave all the information in the group. Please go ahead and join. It is 50% off right now. I just want as many people all over the world to be able to experience this profound, life-changing, transformative type of practice that's really, really helped me get rid of these mental stories. And doing that by getting in touch with my body. And so I want to conclude with telling you that when we start to express the physical expression that comes with these stressful situations, pressures, and traumatic events that we experience, only then can we create the space we need to bring in new thoughts, new patterns, and new behaviors to start impacting our lives. Because until we break that pattern, the stories will stay on repeat. And because our mind and body are so connected, as you just saw through this exercise, that these corresponding emotions have physical sensations in the body. And when you break them, the mental story goes too. I'll see you on February 11th at the Somatic Breathwork Journey. Sign up, get your tickets below, and I'll see you for part 2 at 9 a.m. Monday of next week. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining.